Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast from. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a special edition podcast that we put together specifically for our amazing partners at Halfway Toyota Fourways. First and foremost, my name is Jack Motlanthe, and I am joined by a man who has an encyclopedic knowledge of the motoring industry. He has been in it for decades, and we get to delve into all of the knowledge that he has, and he's been kind enough to sit down with us. I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Ntate Wilson Ntlhane. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, and you?
Great, thank you. So, firstly, I have to say thank you for taking the time to sit down and talk to us. And as well, I have to say thank you for you and Kabelo Ratsefula, who assisted us with our road shows when we were trying to get people registered to vote. I think it's important to start that way. Ntate Wilson, how did you get into the motoring industry? Was it a passion or did you stumble into it?
It was not a passion.
Mm.
Just came from nowhere.
Yeah.
One of the interviews, then that's where this started.
Okay.
By a motor industry. It was Renault Africa, somewhere in 1978.
So it's almost 40 years.
Somewhere there.
Somewhere there. Okay. So, seeing as this was not your passion specifically, but you got into the industry, and how did it treat you? Were you happy to just be employed, or did you see a future that you could work towards in the motoring industry?
In fact, I wanted to achieve a lot. I was just a stock controller by then.
Okay.
In parts department. I just started working in sales, let's say from 1995.
Okay.
That's why I started working with cars, but all along I was in parts department.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, do people, since you worked in the parts department, do some of your neighbors come up to you and say, hey, Ntate Wilson, can you just help me out with this thing?
For free?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. You know, because people like favors.
They do, but I always said when you work for the company, you must make sure that just take it as if it's your company.
Yeah.
So I'm a shareholder here.
You are a shareholder.
Yeah.
You are not an employee, you are a shareholder.
No, I'm a shareholder.
That is a great way to look at things. When you started in the motoring industry, the country was very different to what it is now.
Yeah.
And 1994 comes around, things are now changing. You move from the parts department and you go into sales. How different was those two worlds, having to work from behind and now you are part of the sales department?
Okay, let me just start here. I worked in parts department for Renault Africa.
Yeah.
Because of those years, the sanctions, Renault had to pull out from
South Africa. Yeah.
And then I went back to Limpopo. I had a taxi by then.
Ah, okay.
1994, it was hijacked. And then not insured.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
No. Why it was not insured, you know, in the homelands, you'll find that maybe there's few cars, no accident. Then I said, why must I pay for insurance?
Yeah.
Not knowing that they will hijack the vehicle.
Okay,
so
yeah.
It was hijacked. I didn't get it back. So 95, my brother was working for this company. Then I came and then I applied, interview. I wrote a letter, but mind you, I didn't go to school.
Okay.
Up to, I'm sure I went up to grade, now it's grade 8, I think so. But by then it was
standard
Form
1.
Form 1.
Yeah, Form 1. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I was employed by then, 1995, with a salary of 1,000 before deduction.
Wow.
I was not worried, but when I left 1990, where I was working, I was earning 4,000 rand. 1995, I had to come in to earn 1,000 rand.
Wow.
But my intention was to get inside.
Yeah.
I even told my manager by then that beyond regret for hiring me. So that's why I started coming here as a stock controller in parts. After that, I joined, there was a union.
Okay.
I was a member of the union. I ended up being a shop steward.
Oh.
And then we organized a strike. The owner of the company had to sell this company.
Oh, wow.
So the owner now bought it. He was from Durban. And then he came and then he chose me. He said, he spoke to my managers and said, we want to have a black person to be in sales and to sell taxis. And then they said, oh, there's no one here. And then he said, in fact, I always wear tie. I always be
You were
smart.
neat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always tell my guys, even if you are a driver, you need to look smart because you don't know. Maybe the president is looking for a driver. Then what?
Yeah.
Don't say I'm working.
So you pointed out a couple of things I'd like for us to talk about. When you spoke to your manager and said, look, you are not going to regret hiring me, where did that self-belief comes from? Because, I mean, it's not everyone who is given a challenge and then they rise to it, you know?
I always believe in myself. And then I always believe that whatever I do, I win. So I don't see myself losing anything, any challenge.
It's that simple.
I don't see myself being on a losing side. I used to play soccer. I played against Kaizer Motaung, Jomasono, Esintsweleng.
When you joined the sales department, what was the country like at the time? What kind of patterns did you see when it comes to the way people buy cars?
I used to see the people in sales. When they approached me, my manager and the owner of this company now, when they told me that they wanted me to be a salesperson, I said no.
Okay.
The reason was that, when you are a shop steward is like a politician. You always think ahead. I thought, oh, these guys, they wanted me to go and fail there.
Oh,
so
okay.
Hence they wanted me to be a salesperson. Then I said no. But as we started talking, and then the owner of the company said, no, we'll help you to achieve what you want to achieve. Then I said, being a shop steward, I know that if they appoint me, if I failed, they are not going to fire me because I didn't say to them, I want that job.
Yeah.
So if I fail, they will take me back. I've got, yes. Then I said, okay. And then we had a branch in Durban. This one was going to be the second one. Then they said to me, okay, we're going to send you to Durban because we got 2 salespeople in Durban so that they can go and train you. Oh, I was happy because it was just going to be the first time being in Durban.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had stock on the floor of the taxis. So before my trip to Durban, I sold everything. Then the owner said, no, you are not going to Durban anymore because you can do more than those guys.
Okay.
I was crossed, but what?
Yeah, yeah.
Then that's where I started.
So you were given an opportunity to travel somewhere and you noticed that there was still stock left behind. And you took it upon yourself, look, let me sell all of this stuff before I leave. And then they decide, okay, no, you're not going anywhere. We want you to stay as a salesperson. From that point, were you immediately put into selling cars, or was it still looking at
selling
parts?
cars.
Okay.
Selling cars.
And at this point, what kind of models were out at the time? Like what?
It was the high ace 16-seater and the Zola Bat.
Yeah.
Those are the cars which were there by then.
Okay. And in your years through the industry, did you notice any changes in perhaps the taxi industry, or was it just about speaking to taxi owners and then getting them to buy the cars, or was there specific ways to go about getting those sales?
When you sell, it was not the only dealership. Even now, it's not the only dealership.
Yeah.
We got so many dealerships.
There's competition.
There's a competition. But first, people need to have a trust on you because the product is the same. Other people, there's dealership in Durban, there's dealership in Limpopo, but people has to buy you first.
Yeah.
So they must have trust on you, then they will buy from you.
Okay.
But it was so difficult because when I started selling, you'll find out that there's, I'll say, black people, which they didn't have trust on us as blacks.
Black people. Okay. Yeah.
So they will go to a white person to go and buy from him as if I'm selling something, old cars.
Yeah.
We are
Or
not selling
poor
the
quality.
same.
Yeah.
But when he's got a problem, he will come to me. But when he wants to buy, he will go to, it was not easy. But on my side, because I was selling taxis, and then, I'm selling it to the black people, white people can sell to.
Yeah.
They were trying, but it was not an easy thing. So, mind you, when I started, I said to my boss, no, I'm not going to sell taxis because I can't speak English.
Okay.
Then he said, no, you say whatever language will support you.
Yeah.
So then it made things easier for me. And then to build a relationship, that's what helped me a lot because it was easy for me to build a relationship.
Okay.
So
when you look at the taxi industry now and back then when you first got into sales,
yeah.
Do you think the landscape is still the same or have things changed a little bit?
By then, when I used to sell, it was, I used to have, I'll say 3 months, 4 months waiting list.
Okay. That's how many cars you were selling?
Yes. I used to sell on my own. I used to sell more than 200 cars a month.
Oh, wow.
Waiting list. People like you will come and say, let me give you 1,000 so that I can go.
Yeah, to the top of the list.
It was just something like that.
Mm.
And then, but it's how you build a relationship.
Yeah.
But this nowadays, there's a lot of competitions because other dealers discover that by selling taxis, they can make money. So each and every dealer now is selling taxis. But by then, it was only few dealerships which are selling taxis.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's tough.
But only the strong survive.
Strong people survive.
Yeah.
So there's always one thing which I take with me is lead the way.
Yeah.
So I always want to lead the way because if I waited for you to tell me what must I do, then you'll be leading me.
Yes.
And then so I lead you so that you can just have that trust on me and say, if this man is not there, I'm not going to win. So you will always trust me.
Yeah.
So they trust me by all means. They have that trust on me.
A lot of people do not have the best opinions about taxi drivers and all of that stuff. But as Halfway Toyota, you guys have set up programs over the years where you taught drivers and operators how to go about doing this business correctly. Like, it's not like you are just supplying cars and leaving it alone.
We do it every day. Even yesterday, even today, we are going to have meetings with the banks because we always try for the best for our customers. Whatever we do, we make sure that is benefiting us, three parties, the bank, the taxi industry, and the dealership.
Yeah.
But if one is not benefiting to us, it's not good.
Yeah. You are all stakeholders in this.
Yes, and we must benefit.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it is a business. We cannot pretend like we are just a charity. Things need to be sold. The people need to get paid.
The difference between us at Halfway, the Halfway culture is to engage with the taxi industry and to try to get the best deals for them, make that relationship with the banks so that they can come to, they can have trust on us,
Okay.
so that we can give them the best deal. So we always try our best so that all the parties wins.
That is amazing. So there you were selling 200 cars per month, and I imagine your bosses were very happy with you at the time. When do you then start climbing up the ladder, going from sales and up and up and up?
By then, when I started here, I was staying at Deep Sloot
Mm-hmm.
in a shack, one child
Mm-hmm.
and my wife,
Mm-hmm.
so one room. And then when I started working here, okay, they gave me company car. I didn't have a car by then.
Okay.
Tez by then.
Yeah.
We had Tez with the aircon, which is top of the range.
Mm-hmm.
And then my boss came, and then he called the manager here and the DP, and then he asked them, what car is this man driving? And then they said, no, we gave him that car didn't have registration. It was new. They gave me like a day before. It was
Okay.
still on a temporary
Number plate. Yeah.
Yes. Then he said, no, we gave him this car. And then he said, I don't believe it. This man is making more money than anyone here. How can you give him that car?
Yeah.
And as from that day, they started giving me Hiluxes, these big cars.
Mm.
So that's where I started, and then went on and on and on, and then start selling, driving those big cars. And they came to me, said, no, we wanted you to be the manager.
Okay.
And then I said, not me, I don't want.
Yeah.
But he ended up pushing me because he had a belief on me.
Mm.
And then I agreed to be the manager.
So what does being a manager look like? Because some of us have these ideas that I want to be a manager, I want to be this. What does your day to day look like?
It's easy
Mm.
because it will be easy if you make your staff understand that we are all managers in a different way.
Okay.
From home up to work, we are all managers. My wife is a manager at home. He makes sure that she cooks and do everything.
Yeah.
She's managing.
She's managing.
Yes, everybody is a manager, but different way. So
Mm.
I just tell them that that's what I was taught by my boss. You go out there, you take a decision, as long as at the end of the day, you make the money for the company.
Right.
So things were easy for me. Hence, when KB came to me and say, can we do this? I'm not going to go to someone and say, can we do that? I'll take a decision.
Yes.
As long as I can see that this is going to benefit us.
Yeah.
I just take a decision there and there.
So you have to be brave. You can't just be a pushover and be soft. At some point, you have to put your foot down.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because in most cases, you take decisions without telling your superiors, which they will know after that you did 1, 2, 3. But
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
It's life.
Yeah.
Is that benefiting us, or is
it
something
not?
which is not benefiting us? If he can't fire me for bringing money into the company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he can't. Definitely not.
But in most cases, I'll say I had that privilege of my department reporting straight to the owner of the company.
Oh, okay.
So the other managers around, the DP, no, I didn't report to them. I was just taking instructions straight from the owner of the company.
Right.
So whatever I was doing,
He knew.
it was not easy for them to challenge me.
Okay. So, no matter how we look at this, there's politics here and there. You have to deal with those things. I mean, we have to navigate life one way or another. So, I just want to get into Halfway and the brands that you guys work with now. Because I imagine when you joined, I think you said in 94?
95.
95,
Yeah.
after working at
It
Renault.
was Bryanston Toyota by then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it has grown significantly from
A lot.
back then. There's some of the brands that you now work with. Do you mind telling us a bit about those?
Yo, there's so many.
Yeah.
Some of them, even I don't know them. They are in Durban, Cape Town. You know, he started with one. This was the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Today, as we speak, we've got more than Toyota only. I'm sure we got more than 15 because we got some in Botswana too.
Okay.
So the other brands are there.
I understand there's Hyundai,
Hyundai.
there's Mazda, if I'm
We
not wrong.
tried GWM.
Okay.
We bent our fingers. So we had to leave that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you live and you learn. You must try,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if
You know the GWM is what do they call it this nowadays? Aval.
yeah,
You can see selling now.
yeah, yeah.
I remember going to my boss and telling him, can't we go to this product again? And he said, no, just wait. Because, it was tough.
Yeah.
People used to come and buy. I remember one time we sold 100 Jimbeis, which is GWM. Guys were here coming to fetch their cars just around the corner,
Mm-hmm.
overheating. It was bad. It was bad.
Oh my goodness.
It's bad.
So what happens in those kind of situations where now the manufacturer maybe has got a problem and you need to recall certain cars? How does those kind of things affect what you do?
Hence, we had the halfway culture. The halfway culture is if something is not good, or the car maybe is overheating, or maybe it's got a problem, and it's still new, we take it back and we give you the new one. We'll remain with the problem.
Okay.
That is our culture.
That's just how you guys do business.
That's how we do business.
Because you mentioned it earlier on, there are 3 stakeholders here, and you have to keep in mind that everyone needs to walk away with some sort of benefit. It can't just benefit the dealership.
Yes.
It can't just benefit the customer, but it has to benefit all of
us.
all of you guys involved.
Yeah.
You know, in closing, I just wanted to find out what your thoughts are about what the future of motoring looks like. You know, a lot of people think that we are going to end up with flying cars and all of this stuff, you know, technology being what it is. Do you think dealerships like Halfway Toyota Fourways are still going to be a major part in how the motoring business moves forward into the future?
As long as we want changes, you know, the changes must be there. The technology is coming, so we must go with technology.
Yeah.
If we can, when I started working here, there was no computers. This nowadays, there's computers. So the changes like what KB is doing. KB has been here for not more than a year.
Okay.
He was working somewhere, but because of he's a person which is more on technology.
Yeah.
Then I said he must come here so that he can work with us because we want technology. This nowadays, you can't be in Durban, but with technology you can be there now.
Yeah.
And talk to them.
Yeah.
So as long as we want changes, it will be okay.
Okay. This question is just for me, ne?
Yeah.
I want to know, by your opinion, in 2024, what is the best car to drive in 2024?
In 2024.
Yeah.
Okay, mind you, I was born 1955.
Yeah.
And I'm working for Toyota South Africa.
Yes.
Not Toyota.
Yeah.
Halfway.
Yes.
But I'm driving Lexus.
Okay.
That's the car which my boss said I must drive.
Okay.
The RX 350.
And it's a dream. It's a beautiful car.
It's a beautiful car.
Mm.
So 2020, not only 2024, I'm just surprised if I don't see people buying the Lexus because to me that is a luxury car.
Yeah.
More than the Mercedes you are driving.
Oh, wow.
But you can come, I can give it to you for
A
2
test
days.
drive?
Test
Yeah.
drive, yes.
Okay.
Maybe call me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not today, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
That's the best
definitely
car.
set it up. The
Best
Lexus.
car. Lexus, yeah.
Okay. I must keep that in mind because one of these good days when I make my money, I'm going to buy a new car. And I think because I am speaking to a man who knows what he's talking about, the Lexus might be on my list now.
Lexus is the best.
When someone is a first-time buyer of a car, what advice would you give them?
When you say first-time buyer,
Yeah.
this first-time buyer without money, he's still new, start working. Maybe you call that a first-time buyer, but there are first-time buyer guys which has been working for some years. He's got plenty of money.
Yeah.
Which one are you talking about?
The one who is just
Straight
out of
from-
varsity or high school and they want
No,
to get him a
it will
car.
depends on. There's a different way why you want the car, because some wants to be seen, some wants just a transport.
Between point A and point B.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it depends.
Yeah.
But we got everything here.
But it's something that you must seriously think about. You don't just wake up and decide to buy a
No,
car.
not at all.
Yeah. There's a few things to consider.
Few things to consider.
All right.
Because to buy a car is not like buying a bread, or you can't change it tomorrow. You'll change it maybe after 2 years, because if you change it within a year, it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
So when you buy a car, make sure that the color is right, the right brand, even the engine you are looking for. Yes, these things you have to look at.
Yeah. All right. Ntate Ntlhane, you are a very busy man, so I don't want to keep you any longer. Is there anything else that you would like to let the people who are watching this podcast to know and keep in mind?
From day one, like I said, when I started here, I said to my manager, you won't regret.
Yeah.
Meaning that I was just making sure that I do what I was hired for. I remember losing the bonnet of Cressida by then. I was delivering that to a customer. It was on top of the roof, and then I didn't see it flying until
Until you
but
stop.
the managers had trust on me by then. Then I had to work here and take myself as one of the directors. Being the director, it means I can't steal this, because it's
You are stealing from yourself. Yeah.
from myself. So that's what I'm telling my guys. I was supposed to go on pension 2021,
Okay.
which I was 65 by then. But the owner of the company said no ways. So hence I'm still here.
Yeah.
So whenever you go, just give yourself, don't say you'll start tomorrow, you must start now to be trusted.
All right. On that note, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much again for taking the time to sit down with us. And we will make sure to spread this across all our social media platforms as well as on YouTube, so people can learn a little something from people that know a lot more than we do. One more time, thank you so much, Ntate Ntlhane. Thank you. And just like that, our special edition of the podcast party wraps up just like that. We are at Halfway Toyota Fourways. And for those of you who are thinking of buying a new car, or perhaps getting a different car to the one that you're driving, make sure that you come all the way to Halfway Fourways, and there'll be an amazing team to help you out. Trust me, I know. And just like that, my name is Jack Motlanthe. Thank you so much for watching or listening to this podcast.